Hi, have you been working from home in 2020? Or do you want to claim up to £140 back on your tax bill this year? Then you need to watch this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what is the work from home tax relief and how much it is, who is eligible to claim that back, and how do you actually claim it back from the HMRC.
Be strong.
Hello and welcome to The Nimble Nomad. My name is Arjun, and on this channel we talk about the tips, tricks and hacks to survive and thrive in the UK. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the tax relief that you can claim in 2020. Now, if you're watching this video in 2020 and you live in the UK and work for an employer on a desk job, the chances are that you probably ended up working from home a lot more than expected. And it was probably because you had to work from home because your employer asked you to due to the government regulations and guidelines. Now, as a result of working from home, a lot of people will find that their utility bills have gone up significantly. So things like energy, water, basic things like coffee, tea, washing dishes and so on and so forth. All of these things have gone up. And what the tax authorities and the employers themselves have also realized that their expenses on the employer side have reduced significantly. So as a result of this, there is currently a tax relief or expense claim that you can make, which I'm going to go through shortly in this video. Right guys, so we're going to be talking about the work from home tax relief that's been offered by the HMRC. So let's get into that now. So let's talk about what is the actual working from home tax relief. So basically the HMRC has said, and a lot of the wording that I'm pulling onto the slides that I'm going to talk about here is directly from the HMRC website. What I'll do is I'll add a link of the details in the description below so you can go ahead and watch that. But here, basically what we're saying is that the HMRC has said that if you have had to work from home, a lot of your household costs would have gone up. And this includes specifically for the coronavirus or COVID-19 that you can actually claim these expenses because these are household expenses that go up. Now, you can't actually claim this if you chose to work, i.e. you could have gone into work because your employer asked you to come in, but you were hesitant and you decided to work from home. So it's a scenario where you have been forced to work from home where you wouldn't have otherwise. And you can also include additional costs such as heating, water bills, insurance, broadband connections, which you may not have had or needed, but you can't claim things that you use for your private purposes, such as your mortgage payments and rent and council tax, because that is something that you would have paid irrespective of whether you had to work from home. So this is basically what the home tax relief is. So basically what the HMRC is saying is that if you've had additional costs which have gone up as a consequence of having to work from home due to the pandemic, then you can claim this back through a tax relief that you can apply for. And we'll go into who is eligible to claim this. So basically, to be eligible, you must have had to work from home at least once since the 23rd of March. So in the UK, basically, we went into the first lockdown, which was imposed by the UK government, which was a national lockdown on the 23rd of March. And as a result of that, a lot of the working force in the various offices moved to working from home very quickly. Now, what they're saying is that if you initially work from home and then went back to the office, or if you've continued to work from home like I have had to, then you can still claim this. So even if it's just for a partial year and that you've worked from home, or if you've been working right up until this point, you can claim that tax back. So basically the approach is that you don't have to calculate just the months or the weeks that you were working from home. You do it for the entire tax year. So you can do it from the 6th of April 2020 all the way up to the 5th of April 2021. So it's just easier for the HMRC to calculate and process those claims essentially. Now, The main thing that you're all probably wondering is how much is this? So how much can I actually claim back? So basically what they're saying is you can get a tax relief of about £6 per week in the tax year for 2020-21, which starts on the 6th of April. And for previous years, so if you consider the previous year, which was 2019-2020, the tax relief was £4 per week. So you will not actually need to show any evidence. You just have to claim this. So if you go, this is called the flat rate tax relief that you're claiming, and you just have to apply for it. Now, if for some reason that you think you incurred really higher costs and you want to actually claim those back, then you'll have to actually provide evidence of receipts and bills and so on and so forth, and various other things which go into your work specific contract. I'm not actually going to be going through that in this video, but you can do that if you want to. I just think it's a really complex and unnecessary process you get into because you're still getting a tax relief on the basic flat rate. So this is £6 a week for the entire tax year if you want to apply for it. That's the key thing to remember. Now, how much do you actually get back? So just keep in mind that this £6 per week that you're actually claiming, you're not getting it back in the form of cash. So what actually happens is you will apply, and I'll go in through the live service that they have online available in a second. But basically you apply based on what your expenses are. You fill out the form, and based on what your tax rate is, which I've shown here on screen, you basically get a deduction in your tax code. So your tax code from the UK HMRC gets adjusted, and you basically get that back in the form of a tax refund or relief. So the amount of tax that you're going to be paying going forward for the remainder of the year will actually reduce. So I've actually done this myself, and I'll talk about it at the end of this video, how much I've actually seen as a benefit off of this. So just running through this very quickly. So if you were on a 20% tax band, then you get £62 back of 312. So just so you know, this 312 that I've actually calculated here is £6 multiplied by 52 weeks, which ends up at 312. So if you're in a tax band of 20, 40, 45%, you do the percentage against the 312, and this is what the expected tax relief that you can get. So most people will be in the 20 to 40%. There will be the odd person who goes into the 45%. Well done to you. And you get the tax relief back on the basis of these slabs. Right, so how do you actually make the claim? Now this is really important. So basically there are two ways of actually doing it. So you can actually claim it through this microservice that the HMRC has set up. Now the other thing to keep in mind is that some people, and there are two scenarios. So some people are actually getting their expenses paid by their employer. So if for some reason your employer is paying you this £6 per week as a benefit directly to you, then you will not be eligible to claim it. You can still try, but the questionnaires on the microservice asks you that. So you won't be eligible for it. But if you are applying because you have not received any benefit, as a lot of employers are currently under a lot of financial stress due to the entire situation globally, then you can actually claim this tax relief, which is the preferred approach. So in order to claim this, you actually have to go on to the HMRC microservice, which basically means you go onto this link over here, which I'll go into in a second, and basically you fill out the application form and then they adjust it. So if for some reason, like I talked about earlier, your employer is paying you even a partial tax relief, so giving you some of the expenses back. So one of my friends is getting maybe £20 a month back. Even if you're getting that, you can still apply for the remainder. It's just that the form will automatically adjust the amount that you can claim. So let's quickly look at what the actual process is. So if I click this link, it takes me to this website, which is basically the HMRC website, and it says claim your tax relief on your job expenses. So if I go right down and I say check if you can claim, So I have to fill out this basic questionnaire. So are you only claiming tax relief on your expenses for working from home? Yes. So, okay. Do you complete self-assessment returns? Self-assessment returns are people who file their own taxes. Usually if you're working for an employer, you are getting taxed at source, so payee. So I work for an employer, so I don't fill out a self-assessment, so I say no. Click continue, and then has your employer paid your expenses for working from home? So this is the bit I was telling you about. So some people are getting paid partially their expenses, others are not. So in my case, no, none of them. If you are, so some of my expenses you can fill out yes. So I say no, none of them, and then I click continue. Did you start working from home because of coronavirus, COVID-19? Yes, that's correct. So fill that out, and then you can claim tax relief for your work-related expenses online. So you just click this, claim your tax relief online. What you need is your national insurance number. I've done a separate video on that. If you don't have one, very popular. And you need your recent payslip or a P60. Basically, you need this because they ask you within the form for your employer's tax payee code so that they can adjust your NI number accordingly. It's very important that you have this. So that's kind of the service that I wanted to talk through. So that's it, guys. That was a very quick run through of what is the HMRC tax relief for working from home in 2020. Now, a lot of people that I talked to about this at work were quite hesitant or reluctant to actually do it because they were like, well, that doesn't really sound like it's a lot of money. But I actually filled this out myself, and I filled it out for my wife as well. And we have seen an increment of £100 each on our monthly salary following doing this. So we've done it to the best knowledge that we spend our money, and it's worked out pretty well. So I really recommend people to do this because ultimately this is free money, guys. This is money that you have paid in the form of tax, and you actually in all likelihood need it. So in our case, definitely the expenses have gone up because, you know, the water bill, the energy bill, all of this has gone up. So it's money that you could definitely use to have in your bank account as opposed to with the HMRC. So I would really recommend you do it. In case you have not done it. And if you have liked this video and it has helped you out, please smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe. So that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope this has helped you out, and if you think that this is going to help somebody else out, please share this link of this video as well, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much. Goodbye, guys.